Okay, go to page 724 and let's go and do some of the events. So like number 16, it says show that you want to show that P 6 choosing R equal to 6 times 5P R minus 1. So to do the proof, what you need to do is you have to apply the definition. You have to apply this definition over here from page 723. Okay, so you have to use a factorial to work it out. Okay, so this one, 6PR will equal to 6 factorial over the difference. So it will be 6 minus R factorial. This one over here would be 6 times, now 5PR minus 1 would be 5 factorial over 5 minus that, so it would be minus R plus 1 factorial. Right? It's this minus this, right? And you have to change sign, right? Then what you do is go ahead and write things out. So this one is going to be 6, 5. What? You can just go dot dot dot. That's fine. Okay, or you can write it out. Okay, but if you don't want to write it out, that's fine. You can just leave it. Okay. Now, another thing you can do this is this. Okay. Notice this. What is 6 times 5 factorial? 6 times 5 factorial is what? 6 factorial, right? Okay. Now this over here, if you notice, what is this equal to? 5 plus 1 is 6 factorial, 6, right? 5 plus 1 is 6. So this becomes like this. And this side, if you leave it alone, right? So they're equal. So put check mark, right? Again, you just write down, you use a definition, right? 6PR, right? Is 6 factorial over 6 minus R factorial. So that's your definition. So the total goes on the top, the difference goes on the bottom. Now this one over here, again, the top, the total goes on the top, the difference goes on the bottom. So 5 minus this, and remember to change sign. And after that, right, 6 times 5 factorial is 6 factorial, right? And this one, 5 plus 1 is 6. So you get that and check. Okay. Now let's go and go to the harder one. Okay, let's go to number 20. So you want to show that the NPR minus NPR minus 1 is equal to N minus R N PR minus 1. Okay, so again, what you need to do is apply the definition of the permutation. So this one is going to be N factorial over N minus R factorial. This one over here is going to be N factorial over the difference would be N minus R minus negative 1 become plus 1. Okay, factorial. This side is going to be N minus R times, okay, this one is going to give me N factorial over the difference would be N minus R plus 1 factorial. Okay, now let's go and simplify things a little bit. So you're going to get N factorial over N minus R factorial minus this one is going to be, you know, in order to subtract, right? In order to subtract, you need to make into common denominator. Okay, so what you need to do is notice that, okay, notice that this is one more than that, right? So what you need to do is you need to make into common denominator. So the way to do this is think about this, right? So if you write out the factorial, this is going to be equal to N minus R plus 1 times N minus R and keep going, so it will be factorial, right? So this is equal to this. Because remember factorial, it keep going down, right? For example, let's say this. 7 factorial is equal to 7 times 6 times 5 dot 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 dot, right? Equal to 7 times 6 factorial, right? See that? So you need to understand this part, right? So you can take one of the number out and the rest of them would be like that. So same thing. So again, so factorial means once you take out the first number, the next one would be 1 less. So 1 less and that is that, right? So you have to understand this part over here. Okay, so again, this is equal to that. Then after that, you make it the common denominator. So the difference between the two is you need to have this part of here. So your common denominator would be, so this one would be n minus r plus 1. Again, all I'm doing is just getting the common denominator. Okay, so I'm leaving the right side alone. So that's what you get. The next thing is you can factor out the n factorial. So you're going to end up with n minus r plus 1 from here minus 1. Right? You factor out the n factorial. So the key to all this is you got to understand this part. Okay? 7 factorial is equal to 7 times 6 factorial. Okay? And so forth. Okay? And 6 factorial is equal to 5, equal to 6 times 5 factorial. Okay, so you got to understand the concept of these, about factorials. So this way, notice this is gone. So this would be n factorial. So this cancels out, it would be n minus r over, and again, you can combine this together again, right? You can put this together again, going reverse. So this times that will give you n minus r plus 1 factorial. And notice that's what this side is, right? Okay. So once you equal, then you put a check mark, right? Again, the key concept is these things over here. You got to understand about the factorial, how factorial work. Okay. Again, if you don't see it, write it out. You can see that. Okay, so go ahead and continue with your assignment.